Hello everyone and welcome to another casual review. Today I'm talking about Mega Man. It is time for another marathon, and this isn't the first Mega Man marathon that I have played through. If you're curious, I did play through all of the Mega Man Zero and ZX games, and this won't be the last Mega Man marathon because I haven't played through the Mega Man X collection either. This will, however, be the largest marathon I've ever done so far because there are 11 of these Mega Man games that I want to play through. I have played through the first 8 Mega Man games with my brother on the GameCube collection. We played these legitimately because this did not have a save feature or a rewind feature, and I have no way to prove that. You'll just have to trust us when I say that we were quite tenacious when we were younger, and we just banged our heads against that wall because these Mega Man games, specifically the earlier ones, are very, very difficult. But we just took turns by completing the levels and by dying, and eventually we pushed through all 8 of these on this original collection. I was weirdly obsessed with Mega Man despite not being introduced to it by someone else, and it was being a little bit before my time for the original NES. But I was just going through a Toys R Us catalog trying to find ideas of things that I wanted for my birthday, and I saw this collection for the GameCube, and for some reason the cover art of this Mega Man collection really called out to me, so I told my mom, like, yep, that's what I want for my birthday, and I really stuck with it. I even had a shirt with the Mega Man jumping pose and the 6 original evil robots surrounding him, so I don't know, I just really enjoyed Mega Man back in the day. So what is the plot of Mega Man? Well, like all old games, we have to reference the game manual for this, but basically, Dr. Light and Dr. Wily developed these androids in this futuristic world to help with the world's economy and to help perform different tasks. There was Mega Man, and then there were 6 other robots. Well, turns out that Dr. Wily betrayed Dr. Light and reprogrammed all of these robot androids to do his evil bidding in order to take over the world, and only Mega Man resisted the reprogramming. So Dr. Light sent Mega Man out to defeat all 6 of the evil androids and put a stop to Dr. Wily's plans. In Mega Man, you get to choose from 6 different themed levels to play through, each with a matching theme of the boss at the end. So if I select Electric Man, then I will play through a level themed around this electricity theme, and then I will fight Electric Man at the end. And if you defeat one of the evil robot androids, then you will gain their power and be able to use that power in other levels. I always started with Cutman just because that was the first one in the level selection. That's just the default one that your cursor is over. And I don't think that's a bad order to go in for the original Mega Man, because Mega Man originally starts out with a little pea shooter that can only shoot horizontally, and you can either shoot 1 bullet or 3 bullets at a time. And the pea shooter does more damage against some bosses than it does others, and Cutman, it does a significant amount of damage, and his attacks aren't too terrible to avoid either. So it's a good starting out, like dipping your feet in. Now, there is, quote-unquote, a right order of effectiveness when playing through these Mega Man games, because certain powers are good against other robots. So, for instance, Bomb Man's ability to throw the hyper bombs is super effective against Guts Man. Otherwise, you might find that some of these bosses are really difficult because they move quite sporadically, and if you touch them, then you do get hurt. Eventually, once you do defeat all 6 of these androids, the gauntlet towards Dr. Wily opens up, and it is a series of about 3, 4, 5 difficult levels with the boss at the end of each one of them, and then you are able to face off on Dr. Wily. But keep in mind, you do have to re-battle all of these evil androids one more time, pretty much in sequential order. And if you get a game over, you have to start this gauntlet all over again. You don't have to fight all of the original 6 levels, but you do have to battle through the fortress going up to Dr. Wily. So you can see why it is very impressive that my brother and I had actually beaten all of these games legitimately with no save states or rewinds. I did not do that, however, this playthrough, because I don't have time for that anymore, or patience for that anymore. So this collection does have the feature to rewind your gameplay, which is very, very helpful. Whenever you accidentally fall off a ledge or hit some spikes, both of those are instant death, by the way. you can just rewind and try over and over again. There's the frustrating thing too, where if you are damaged by a projectile, you will be knocked backwards quite significantly, and that can really hurt your platforming. The enemies respawn quite frequently too, not even to the point where you have to move down to a separate screen or something like that. If you just move a little bit away from their respawn point, then they will be respawning, so you have to keep on moving forward, otherwise you're going to be fighting the same enemy over and over again. Despite the frustrating gameplay here, though, I have a real soft spot for Mega Man, particularly the soundtrack of all of these games. The soundtrack just slaps, in my opinion. My favorite track in Mega Man 1 was probably Electric Man's level. That's music. It was really good. I really enjoyed the chip tunes here. But there are a lot of other good tracks as well. My favorite level to play through was probably Bomb Man's, and I really enjoyed the background design of these unique buildings that are way up in the sky, supported only by this tiny little pole. The song for that level is pretty good as well. My favorite ability in this game too would probably be Iceman's ability, just because it freezes enemies in place, and these enemies move so sporadically that it is really helpful to freeze them in place and then shoot them over and over again with your pea shooter. I feel like I don't use that many different abilities when it comes to Mega Man other than his pea shooter, just because you have to pause and go into the pause menu to switch your ability, and then you have to re-pause to switch any other ability. It's not like you can toggle back and forth easily. So yeah, most of the time you will be using your pea shooter. However, Electric Man's ability comes in handy often as well, because you get those vertical attacks as well. It shoots in 3 different directions. So when an enemy is above you or below you, you really have no way of damaging them without Electric Man's ability. It really shows its age, though. Even it does that thing that a lot of like old NES games do, where your HUD will flash if you get hit by certain enemies, and it shows its age in not only its difficulty but its visuals as well. You know, it's really like not that long of a game, especially if you really abuse this rewind feature. It'll only take you maybe like 2 or 3 hours. And I think that's a big reason why older games are more difficult, because they really want to pad out the game length with these game overs, so you have to replay the level over and over again. In my mind, I think this took like a week or two just to play through it originally, but just playing through it now, it only takes a couple hours, so it's not that big of a deal. Overall, I don't think this game is that fun to play through, especially if you aren't using that rewind function. However, I do have a lot of nostalgia for it, and it has a soft place in my heart. I think I will give this game a 2 out of 5. However, if I did not have that rewind feature, I think I might even bump this down to a 1 out of 5. But as far as this collection and modern playthroughs, most of the time you will have that access to that rewind function. So I don't know, if you're curious about Mega Man's origins or just older popular games, give it a shot. If anything, just to listen to that awesome soundtrack. Well, guys, that's it for me. Let me know if you have any questions or comments about Mega Man or the Mega Man series in general, and I'd love to hear what you have to say. Now I'm going to hop right into Mega Man 2. I'll talk to you later. Bye!